to kick off for Cincinnati.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and we are underway on a Monday night. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here's Anthony McFarland. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
The tackle by...
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. McFarland running out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. This is Johnson, he's good. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Breaking down at the 49. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Play action. Now Wentz. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Wentz now on 1st down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, this will be McFarland. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it. Now look where they are.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Anthony McFarland. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Next to score, Steelers 7, Bengals 0. Chris
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. quarterback that's used to running the football a lot, and that time he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz looking for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used a slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a pickup of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Matt Gay on for the field goal. A 35-yard attempt.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And their hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the year.
Coaches have only talked about turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
4-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Now he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
7, Bengals 3.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that. From midfield now, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. That catch good for only a couple.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
On second down now, Mixon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Third down.
Now Burrow. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass option.
They're right down here looking for 6. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. Now Joe Mixon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays. Because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
So it's an old school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or maybe just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a pass is taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That's good.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though
Wentz is intercepted again. William Jackson with a pick.
you hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday I'll press it a little bit. This might be the case.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Well, a nice throw near right side. He hauls it in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there. First down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Mixon with a first down carry. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
It's 2nd and 8.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Burrow setting up to throw. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards. They just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. Stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. 3rd and goal. Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Number 85, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7.
Score, Bengals 13, Steelers 7. Randy Bullock takes it.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee. Maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
24-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Taken in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Going deep downfield for Roll. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
To John Ross.
John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
49-yard line.
On 1st down, Wentz looking deep here for Ebron. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On second down, here's Burrow. Going deep downfield for Ross. And then a side shot at their own 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, they'll start with McFarland. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, McFarland. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now Wentz on third down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's taken in by Higgins. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Burrow. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 11 yards there. First down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to Mixon on first down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. second down. Mixon, and he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Mixon, the ball carrier.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Third down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On the run, it's Mixon. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll give it to Mixon. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
The tackle made.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Touchdown.
Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Taken in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, you know, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. On first down, McFarland. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They'll steal a first down on a pickup of 11 yards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
The 13-yard line.
Shotgun now for Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with McFarland. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Anthony McFarland, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Makes the score Bengals 27, Steelers 21.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and 10. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
This is Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
The tackle
Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down now. Mixon, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. So here we go, Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. Now he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down, Mixon, and he stopped immediately there.
Joe Mixon.
After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this third down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
Third down, Mixon. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on fourth down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Fielded just inside the 20. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete. We're down to 8 seconds now. Chase Claypool, the intended target, but it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Wentz to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away and it throws incomplete. Chase Claypool, the intended target. But now it'll be third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. One final try now for Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
21.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So So for the Bengals, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will